Come on, roll 20. There we go. Oh man,
Oh, that's so bad.
Is
that
it chugging real
dynamic light,
hard?
it chugged pretty hard, but it works.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's where my concern is. Um, is the performance of it because it already likes to chug. So, um,
I mean, I'll try. Okay, it's actually not bad. It's starting to settle.
okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna move a couple of things.
I'm gonna move back to where he was. But it doesn't chug for, like, you when I do that?
Nope. Nope. Like I just cut off all of those lighting angles there that let you see into the ether, and it was working perfectly fine for me. I think it's because it's revealing assets for you guys.
Yeah. And you have them all loaded up already, so.
Yeah. So Egg is the one that's carrying the torch. So he's the one that has the torch light enabled.
Yes.
So I'm gonna move you back here and make sure that that's working. Do you guys see his light?
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't see mine.
Yeah, right, because you don't have.
I get like a little bit of square, but
because you don't have dark vision.
yeah. Oh, that's
Okay.
really cool.
Okay, so
That is cool.
that's working. All right. So everybody's got dark vision. Everybody works. I got that set up and running correctly. The only other thing is I have to decide whether. Oh yeah, I mean dim light should reveal, so that's fine. Okay. So the way dark vision works in this game, in case nobody knows, is that in total darkness you see as though it's dim light. It's not a crystal clear picture. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Um.
It's kind of like a black and white, just like being able to make out something's there but not see distinctly, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It is absolutely black and white. Let me get my session notes open. And then we will get started.
Cool.
Did that open? That's session notes. Where's my script? There's my script. Okie dokie pokey. All right, so let's do our usual recap. We'll go top down, and then I will give the description of the room that that I gave last time one more time, and then we will move forward.
Okay. So starting off last session, we kind of picked up and rewound a little bit, retroactively changed some character stuff, blah blah blah. More importantly, some more discussion was had with Ed at the shop and Pippi. We found out we are in the continent of Nightfall, which is where Spiro was once located and once like the big deal around these parts or whatever. And that's kind of, and we still don't exactly know exactly what Spira was about, but yeah, we know it was a big deal and what part of the world we're in. It used to be known as the Living City, I guess, was another note I put down here. We talked to the giant that we had taken down and pinned down, and he seemed reluctant to help us unless we proved our allegiance to the giants by bringing the head of an orc war chief to him and showing that, like, obviously we're not aligned with them in any ways. We just took down one of their big guys. At around that time, or slightly after that, we also got a message from a bird, and I think that's where I'll pass it off for somebody else to continue.
Sure.
Yeah, the note was from someone that Chain knows, and kind of let us know that we're kind of wanted or whatever. People assume we abandoned our quest and our AWOL, basically, so our lives are forfeit back in Glitterstone. We decided to camp for the night, and during the night, the giant was murdered and Edwin was robbed. Pippi was kidnapped. And the most notable things are my glaive was taken and bunch of Edwin's stuff was taken, and he's most concerned about the sword that is now gone. And then we found some handprints that gave us some notes of a trail to follow. That then led us to we fought some orcs that had these weird pustules, and I'll pass it on from there.
Yeah. I guess one thing to note about the sword is that he refused to tell us what it does. So we have no idea what's going to happen when we encounter it. But we fought off the orcs zombie things, and they gave off this weird goo that we used to find handprints on trees, and it led us to that opening with the waterfall. We fought with a bug-like creature. Pedalin was kidnapped. And I think it was Thame who got the kill?
Yeah, I think that's how I remember it happening. That's what I have in my notes, so that is...
Your notes are inaccurate!
But I'll let Rumble take it on.
Beldam totally didn't lose a shoe in trying to make it to the waterfall.
Never happened.
Behind the waterfall was a cave system where Thame was able to jump down blindly into a hole and dig for Pedalin, rescuing her in the nick of time. Also took some Sylvaneers, didn't you?
Yes, we got the mandibles from the bug monster.
Gross.
Mandibles.
With everyone relatively safe, we decided to then proceed further into the cave, noticing that the ground changed as we went deeper in.
And so finally, we kind of came to a wider, higher cavern in the cave where footprints split off in 3 different directions, some to the north, some to the west, and some to the south-ish. And thanks to our floaty wind man, we were able to discover and get down a kind of fancy vial that seems to have swirling storms and chaos on the inside. And Egg recognized it as a goblin-made item that can be used as a weapon if thrown. And so now we're just kind of trying to decide which direction we're going to go, which footprints we're going to follow, and still trying to find whoever it was that took Edwin's sword and the glaive.
Yeah, and just as a side note to end all that off, I guess, we also know that Edwin and Pippi were looking for an old dwarven keep with something of great importance to them.
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
go ahead.
The tracks that were going north resembled the ones from our camp.
So, a couple of things of note just for this session. Everybody should congratulate Rumble on becoming a dog dad, as he has a brand new wee baby puppy at home. So we will be taking a break every hour on the hours, starting at 5. Well, not on the hour. We're going to start at 5:15. We're going to take a 10-minute break just so that he can attend to any sort of dog-related activities that he needs to. And if anything comes up mid-session, it's okay. Take your time. Do what you need to do. Does anybody have any problems with that?
That makes
Okay,
my life
good.
so much easier.
Okay.
I'll let
and
you
then,
know if she's passed out or not, and we can skip the break, because she's
And then-
sleeping at the moment.
One other thing, you guys can probably see these weird shadows on the ground in front of you. Those are the shadows of stalactites. I didn't want to put them on the map because they just take up space and they're technically above you, but so that you know where they are.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and read the description of the room that you guys are entering one more time, and then we will get started. As the last bits of light that pierce through the waterfall fade completely, the tunnel opens to a much larger cavern dotted with stalagmites and stalactites. Almost pitch black at this point, those without dark vision will have no hope of making their way through the cave without a light source. The air is damp and dense, smelling slightly foul, and the previously solid rock ground gives way to a much softer sand-like substance, each footfall sinking slightly with a wet, slurping noise. As your torch was lit and you peer out, the soft yellow light of the cavern is reflected slightly by wet, cavernous walls. At the entrance to the cave mouth are a myriad of tracks heading deeper inward in various directions. Some lead north, others south, and a few directly west. There are no discernible tracks leading east to the exit. You can make out the deep footfalls of much heavier humanoids as well as occasional barefoot impressions. Off to the south are the footprints of somebody used to traveling lightly on their feet. So Homer, you are actually incorrect. It is to the south.
Really? Oh.
Yes. Spotted amongst the tracks are much smaller footprints seemingly belonging to children. And using somebody's expert survival skills, I don't remember who it was, but you determined that the heavy tracks are around 2 to 4 hours old. The barefoot tracks that lead to the north are around 12 hours old. And the soft boots just shy of 24 hours. Additionally, you noticed the strange glass bottle perched in the stalactite just in front of you, and through the use of the Ergonasi levitation ability possessed by Chain, you were able to dismantle the trap and retrieve the goblin blast bottle, which Ed recognized from his time among goblins. Knowing that it is a purely chaotic, extremely dangerous device, capable of unleashing quite a lot of energy in a small package, almost entirely unpredictably.
So who is carrying the bottle right now, just for my notes?
I got it.
Okay. So I think
if anything in character, Egg would want abso-fucking-lutely nothing to do with that bottle.
Probably. He knows what it is. So knowing that, or seeing how Egg reacted and just being like, oh Jesus, I know kind of what that is. I'm gonna point out some of the footprints and just be like, take a closer look. Do any of these resemble goblin tracks specifically?
I'm not gonna make anybody roll again, but there are a couple of small boot prints, but or smaller, but they're like within the large footprint, so it'd be too hard to tell. You're not gonna get a racial imprint.
Gotcha.
What are goblins doing here anyway?
Working, probably.
Do they typically work with orcs?
I mean, they could be slaves. There are, goblins are general. They're smaller creatures, they get picked on.
They are greenskins and typically will stay with their green screen brethren, yes. Green screen? Greenskin.
Green screen.
Green screen, yeah.
They're all CGI.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so our first course of action is deciding as a group which way to go. I don't think splitting up is a good idea in here.
Agreed.
No. No, we can go ahead and stay together.
So these footprints that go south look like the ones that we've been following from the camp?
Yes. They are the footprints of somebody who is used to traveling lightly on their feet. You can see that they have taken careful measures to try and avoid leaving tracks, but somebody rolled really well on survival and spotted it.
Mm-hmm. But the deeper footprints indicate that there was a burden being carried, and since I think Pippi is we need to find Pippi. That's our first course of action, so I think that's more time sensitive.
Well, Pippi wouldn't leave footprints.
Pippi wouldn't be heavy to carry either.
I'm just trying to think.
He's like a little flying thing.
Yeah, but I'm sure it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been just, come along, little guy. Probably put in something.
I mean, you could put him in a cage or a box, but no, I wouldn't assume that to be that big.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm more inclined to follow the tracks that we recognized as being similar.
Yeah, that's a good call too.
Figure out the rest later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so we want to go south, right?
Yes.
Or follow them to the south.
It's fine by me.
So we're in agreement then. Okay. I will take the
Okay.
lead.
I was gonna say you should probably go up ahead of the torchlight.
The torch bearers in the middle.
Oh, I like the dynamic lighting. Yes, it chugs a little bit, but it's nice.
As soon as everything loads for us, it won't.
Mm-hmm.
It is nice, actually, though. Like, for real.
Like, to not have to do that myself. Oh,
It's actually pretty damn immersive too.
Yeah.
I'm still enjoying the cave noises in the background.
The hits from the bong.
yeah, that.
The slipping water is so good.
We probably want to give him some more space so he can actually go up ahead.
While we're moving through the cave, I'd like to just kind of stay on guard, like listening for anything out of place or like stuff moving in the dark.
Sure. So, you can give me an active perception check.
I'll let her do that quickly here.
Whoop. Ooh, excellent.
Wow.
All right, where are you? Okay.
I'm on
so,
edge, man.
Sure. As
Not eaten by a
you
bug.
as you carefully trace your steps into the cavern, making sure to follow closely to those companions that you are with, you keep an ear out and are listening for anything that might sound out of the ordinary, other than the low thrum at this point of the waterfall in the distance and the water thundering overhead. You think you hear what might sound like chittering, almost like crickets on a warm summer night.
Which would probably be comfortable in any other scenario.
Right. So
Do y'all hear that?
I assume we hear it if we pay attention.
No, everybody will need to make an active perception check, but since she's pointing it out, 15 or higher will hear.
Nope. Hear what?
So Thame and Chain will also pick up on the
I will
cricket.
explain and point out the chittering noise, the insect-like noise.
Yeah, you hear it.
What is that?
Bugs?
I
So
give a
we'll
shiver.
for ease of direction, I'm guessing up is north.
Yes.
And then okay, cool.
Yeah. I always try to keep like that. That's why you guys started on the right side of the map,
Okay.
even though that gives away that there's more to the map, because I hate having to confuse directions like that.
Yeah. So I think I will point to the west and just say it looks like the path gets divided into two by that rock.
We'll just follow you.
I guess I'll see if I can pick up on the footprints still. Just to make sure they either continue south or if they veer off a little bit.
Knowing what you're looking for, you do see that the footprints, like, they travel along the wall here.
Along the wall. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be pointless, but can I try an Arcana check to see if I recognize any magic handprints on the wall?
Sure.
Yeah, because we've run out of goo, right?
You guys have
We
a
have
small
some.
amount left.
I'm not very attuned to magic, but
Yeah.
I figure knowing what I'm looking for, maybe I can pick something up.
It's really hard for me to say as a GM what you would pick up on here. Like, I understand that you're looking for a physical object. So with that Arcana check, why don't you go ahead and roll Perception or Investigation, whichever is higher, at advantage.
Nice.
All right, so you scour the rock surface, having a very strong inclination of what kind of messaging system these thieves were using to leave behind notes or even a pathway for somebody coming behind them. As you're checking the wall itself, you don't spot anything that looks even remotely similar to what you had found in the woods. However, as you're turning back to the group to let them know your findings, something on a nearby stalagmite catches your eye, and it looks like perhaps the same thing happened here. However, recent scarring on the stalagmite indicates that it looks like some sort of fight happened here. You can see deep bite marks in the stone caused by some sort of heavy, wedge-headed weapon.
I relay this information to the group and point that out.
And that's like there.
Yeah. I turn to Egg and say, any idea what would have caused that, weaponry-wise?
Did you say it was like a mallet or some hammer?
He just said
A
something
wedge
heavy set.
Wedge.
A heavy wedge-headed weapon. So you can see, like an axe wound.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
Maybe we should keep the talking to a minimum while we're in the dark cave.
I nod and just like, yeah, I agree.
Could have been a disagreement between the cohorts, or could be thieves trying to steal from thieves.
I want to look around and see if there's any other signs of struggle, like footprints or gouges or anything like that.
Where do you look?
Looking on the floor to see if there's like
So
shoe marks.
in your immediate surroundings?
No, over by the bite mark and the stalactite.
Okay. So all around that stalagmite.
It's this one, isn't it?
No, it's the one you're right
This
next
one?
to now.
Yeah, it's the one you
Then
decide.
yes. Okay,
So-
then yes.
So move all around it, because we need to see what your vision reveals. Okay, and from there, go ahead and make your perception check or investigation check. Is there something specific that you're looking for?
I'm looking specifically to see for footprints or scuffle marks or things like that in the dirt that show what kind of fight it was and how many people were involved.
Okay.
Like they're moving around, they're tussling, like just kind of looking for that kind of thing.
That would actually probably be survival or investigation. Okay. So, as you move westward, you can make out what looks like large, gouges in the mud from where maybe somebody braced themselves and was pushed backwards. It just or several feet even moving in one place. There's no really, clearly some sort of scuffle or altercation happened right around this area. So the full, from this stalagmite to this stalagmite in a circle. Something happened here. There's no boot prints have been completely washed out just by the sheer magnitude of whatever was happening. Roll perception. Yeah, it's just you're not sure when it happened, and you're not sure exactly who or what may have been involved here, but something definitely happened.
I'll just point it out to the group, and in particular Egg, since he's a fighter.
He loves to fight.
Might know a little
That's
bit more
true.
about fighting than me.
What?
Certainly hope so.
He doesn't. We're in real trouble.
You just hit things.
All right,
Oh,
I'm
I
gonna stop
suppose we
here.
can just press on.
I'm gonna stop here because
Yeah.
I noticed something in the distance.
Sure. So you
Right
notice
there.
some water in the distance.
Some water. I just kind of point and just say water to the group.
I
Press
like
on.
the stillness and slowness with which you guys are moving here. It's actually very nice as a GM to see you moving that way.
I'm moving slow because I want to give you opportunity to stop me if something
No,
happens.
I know, but it's also that nice and immersive. There's a sense of caution. It looks like your light may have revealed some things up to the northwest as well. Right around here.
I think that may have been me when I was walking around the...
No, I noticed that
stalactite.
the dirt has been disturbed by the looks of
Okay.
it up there.
So that I can actually... I wasn't sure if you saw that or not. I was hoping you guys would point things out whenever you notice things out of the ordinary. Where is my description for that? Okay, so just off to the northwest and what looks like a little inlet of its own, you can make out what appear to be some sort of crude, fresh dug, like fresh disturbed earth. Like somebody dug something and you can see that they've lumped fresh earth on top of it as well.
Over here?
Yes.
Yeah, I point over there.
It looks like you guys can see just right there.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go and see if they buried anything there?
Could be
There
buried
There we go.
treasure.
Now I can see more clearly what you guys can see. I turned my opacity down.
Does
Could be a trap.
Egg have the torch?
Yes.
Egg does have the torch, which is
Why
why
we're
Chain
huddled
is
around.
hugging so closely to him.
Fair. I'd say
Maybe
wait
they-
here, keep your back to the wall. And I'm gonna
Okay.
go check it out.
As the only other one with dark vision, I'll kind of stay in between the two groups.
The only other one with dark vision.
Yeah, because
The
the madam doesn't
only-
have dark.
Other one.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
as you move closer and are able to more clearly make out what you see in front of you, it looks like perhaps these are fresh graves. As you can see, 3 carefully placed stacks of stones placed on the far end of each of the 3 mounds.
And I can tell that this is like surrounded by rock faces on all sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go in. And I think instinctually I would hug the wall.
Sure. The chittering that you heard previously echoes off of these walls to the north, seemingly focused by the small little inlet.
That fog of war effect is so freaking cool. Oh my god. It's real good.
I can't even see where you are.
I'm gonna look in the first grave.
Sure. So how are you going to do that?
Carefully just kind of move my body over, like, keep my
Oh no,
feet
they're covered.
Oh, they're covered. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I thought they were open.
No, they're covered.
In that case, I am going to put one foot on top of the grave and push down with my foot to see, like, how packed it is.
Mm-hmm. So as you push down, your foot sinks almost to the knee.
Okay.
It is moist and loosely packed. It is almost as though these graves were made in a hurry.
Okay, I pull it out. I'm gonna look at the tombstone thing.
There's a wet slurp echoes off the walls as your foot is pulled free. Chain, Egg, and Madame Beldam. You hear a distant and it just echoes a couple of times.
So much for
Good
being
that they-
quiet.
Yeah, I was like, I'm glad they've mastered the art of stealth.
Okay.
Famous, known master of stealth. It's fine.
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
guys
look.
want to play cards?
I'm gonna look at the tombstone.
Sure.
I'm gonna kind of just keep keep my eyes turned back towards the group with the light, just so
You
I'm
can-
kind of.
On the tombstone itself, you can see that somebody has scratched out what looks like a crude, like a sun.
Like an emblem sort of thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that this? If I just, for the sake of time, looked at all three of them.
Yeah, they all
They're
three
all-
have the same thing.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or just writing a note down. Okay.
So we don't recognize this emblem?
Nope. It's somebody crudely drew the sun with by scratching stone on stone.
All right. I want to just do a very rushed investigation of the area. See, like the dirt near the graves. See if there's a trail of where the bodies were dragged, or if there's like specific footprints, just that sort of thing.
Okay. Is that your investigation roll there?
It is, yeah.
There is a pretty heavy slide, like a sludge trail, where maybe something was dragged or pulled to the north.
Okay. And that's all I can tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know Pedalin's behind me, I'm assuming. So,
Yep.
I'm just gonna whisper to her, we should get back with the others.
Can you guys see the others?
Oh,
I can see them.
Yeah.
Mm.
We can see them. I think they probably look like scared shitless.
no. I'm sitting down playing cards,
Oh, so they're bored.
waiting for you guys.
So you're sitting in mud, playing cards. In mud,
Yeah, damn.
like muddy sand.
Not the mud. Yeah, never mind.
Egg is standing.
Mhm.
Egg is standing.
With his back to the wall.
Yeah.
I'd probably just be leaning against the wall. You know, I used to be able to see in the dark.
Like, see, so you know, on like tennis shoes or sneakers, that white rubber layer
Yeah.
that before you get to the canvas, like that's about how deep every footfall sinks with every step in here.
Like an inch or two.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
This sucks.
Oh, I was not clicked in the right screen, so I'm gonna slowly start walking back the same path I took to get here.
Okay. Okay.
I'm staying with you.
While he's been waiting, Egg has just been like he'll just alternately lift up either foot so they don't sink too far while he's staying in one place.
So as you guys get closer, you'll hear the occasional as Egg dances back and forth on either foot. Perhaps not realizing that by putting all of his weight on one central point is causing him to sink deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over.
Yeah.
So, when I'm back with the group, I just kind of whisper to them, 3 fresh makeshift graves over there.
It's very strange that someone would take the time to bury someone in here.
How much... okay, I'll just ask you directly. Egg, how much do you know about goblins? Would they bury their dead?
I lived with goblins on a boat, so
So no.
don't know much about goblins
On Earth. Yeah.
burial rituals on
Fair.
land.
Fair.
Your experience with dead goblins was that when there was a dead goblin, it went overboard
Uh-huh.
Okay.
with no circumstance or celebration.
Not
just
much
yeah.
pomp.
So, I will safely
Not-
assume by that answer, they would probably not take the time to bury their dead or the dead of their enemies. Okay, understood.
And usually it wasn't the goblins deciding what happened to the dead.
Fair. Okay. So I guess I just confirm with the group, shall we continue?
Sure.
I don't think there's anything to be gained by poking around in those graves anymore.
I agree.
I'm
Also,
just tired of walking in this mud barefoot.
Agreed.
yeah,
Well,
Beldam
that's
says,
the barefoot
holding her
thing.
heels.
I'll relay the information of like. Actually, you know what? Even better. I'll just draw in the mud the emblem I saw. So
Okay.
to not like keep talking, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say on the graves or whatever, and then we'll continue moving.
Sure.
So they can make note of it.
I can't figure out how to get dim light to be all that you guys see. Rumble, I'm gonna change something on your lighting emission. Tell me how your vision changes.
You want me to stop?
Yeah, for a sec.
Yeah, no problem.
It made everything past. Excuse me, ruler. Oh god.
Oh, okay. That I did it. That works. So now everybody's dark vision is dim light, and only the torch is emitting bright light.
Very
I'm the
cool.
best.
That's so awesome. I'm so glad you programmed Roll20. No, that's actually real cool though. Oh, and then out where like it would be dim and normal light is like, yeah, this is so cool. Oh my god. All right.
So good.
Sorry, this is like the dorkiest thing.
No, man, it's great.
I like how the grid lines fade after.
Because it's like an accurate, like, visual representation of how this works. It's amazing.
Sure. Okay, so
I stop here.
yeah. A strangely still pool of water comes to rest at the edge of this wall. Marks on the ground show that someone or something has clearly passed this way on numerous occasions. A faint light can be seen reflecting up. Oh, you know what? I can actually put that light. Let me do the thing. Let me put a light.
Oh. Tabletop nerds.
I can actually make it be a... Wait, where'd it go?
Let there be light.
This is cool because playing in real life with like a full grid and everything, you can get this light thing
Right.
done either. It's just neat.
Yeah. All right. Advance emits light. Maybe this. Can you see something there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can't see what it is, but I can see that there's a light source.
Yeah. Tell me when it gets so far that you can't see it. Or is it going to be...
Yeah.
You can't see it now?
I mean, I can see that there's light, but I can't see what is emitting it.
Sure. Okay, so let me see if I can futz with the angle a little bit more. A little more. Oh, this is...
Yeah, this is dope as hell. For real.
Okay. That work?
Yep.
Okay. All right. A faint light can be seen reflecting off of something below, but due to the murk and gloom, you can't be entirely sure what. The ramp itself leads in at a fairly gentle angle, but you can't make out anything beyond a few yards.
Oh, I don't like this pool.
I turn to Egg and smile and just say, "Want to go for a swim?"
Not really.
Oh, that's right, because Egg's scared of drowning.
And birds, apparently, we discovered. Sorry, I meant to move down this way.
That was just a dream.
The bird
Stepped up.
thing.
I'm gonna go to the water's edge and just, like, bend down and, like, just put my hand through it, run my hand through it. I just want to make sure that it's, like, normal water.
Sure. Let me pull that back up. The water is almost warm, perhaps heated by an unknown source.
Do I
So,
remember
like
how cold the waterfall was?
It's much warmer than the waterfall.
Much warmer than the waterfall.
Is this like a nice warm, or is this like a murky, like, oh god, why is this warm?
I'm guessing like a little less than a hot tub, maybe.
Like comfortable, like a bath water.
I'm thinking maybe even a little warmer than that, like an unnaturally warm.
Like a gentle fart.
Exactly. This water feels like a gentle fart running through my fingers.
Sure.
Thanks, Egg.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like a Dutch oven.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll point into the distance and just say, like, do you see that to the light?
I see it.
I don't.
Come here to the water.
Oh, you mean like here?
Mm-hmm.
I see the faintest of slivers.
Oh yeah.
Ah, okay. As I'm rounding the corner, it becomes more and more.
Yeah. See, this dynamic lighting is dope as fuck. It's so good. So yeah, you should be able to see it when you, like, get closer.
Yeah.
What
Well,
could
that's
what
probably
could that light be?
camp.
Feels important.
Jane, can't you breathe underwater?
Sure can't see underwater.
Oh,
That's a
right.
good call.
Torch will not survive
I
underwater.
was gonna say, I was like, yeah, and I mean, I could swim that way, hope I don't get lost, but
No.
that doesn't
Probably.
particularly
Unsheath your
sound.
dagger.
Why?
Just do it.
Okay.
Oh,
Take
here we
out
go.
one of my daggers.
I touch his dagger and cast light onto it.
Oh, I'm so
Okay.
glad you have that.
Yeah, I've seen it thinking like, surely one of them has the
Yeah,
most basic
I
of
was-
cantrips.
I was kind of thinking.
I wasn't gonna say anything because if you.
Well, that helps.
Oh,
I've got a little dagger.
so hold on. Let me. What's the?
Bright light 20 feet, dim light for additional 20.
Okay. So torchlight, bam.
And if he
Oh my
sheathes
God.
it, it does get hidden away.
Mm-hmm.
That is utterly fantastic. All right,
Yeah.
see you guys.
As you enter the water and gently wade down the ramp, after a few steps, the ground seems to almost give out.
I guess I'll just easily go underwater then. I'll peer into it first.
Hold on. So as you take another... No, go back where you were.
Okay.
As you take your next step forward, the ramp itself gives way, crumbling beneath your feet. The sounds of your fall and splashing water echo around the caverns. As you're underneath, in the distance, almost in a straight line, you can make... assuming you opened your eyes, almost in a straight line, you can make out what looks like an orange-yellow glow. If you could somehow get a better look, you might be able to tell its source, but it almost looks like it comes from above the water.
You mean you're talking about this light still, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will swim my way forward. I assume there's nothing in here with me.
That is an assumption, yeah.
I would like to percept my way to make sure there's nothing in here with me.
Sure.
I would like to be 100% sure.
Despite being able to breathe underwater, your eyes do not pierce the murk. Your light does its best attempt at making the way clear, but the water itself has an almost foggy quality to it. You're only able to see, and now I need to do this. About half the distance of what you could when you were above the water.
Alright. I assume that makes it harder for them to see me as well, so that's good. I'll just continue swimming my way forward,
Sure.
listening and looking to make sure there's nothing in here.
So he's completely submerged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I probably, even though like I can see. I probably don't see him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, he's holding the knife,
Oh,
so you would
yeah.
see.
So,
See the lights.
Yeah,
Sort
that's
of.
right. I whispered to
Oh, I
Egg,
don't like this
should we have
place.
sent him alone?
Probably not.
Stop there.
I'm not going. If you want to go, have at it.
Hmm.
It's probably a good idea.
So, for a brief moment, you think you spot a creature, and let me
Oh, Jesus.
swimming in the distance. I hope you were watching the light. If you weren't, tell me, I'll do it again.
Please do it again.
Did you see that?
I saw a white little, like, thing run across.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we out. Just head on back.
I don't blame
So,
you
can
at
I
all.
see, actually, let me, let's do this, since I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was here, right?
Sure.
Regardless. I'll like temporarily put away my dagger, so it's dark. But I will swim to the surface so that I can take a look to see what this is.
So I can't put it on the map, but as you surface, let's say that you see this rock right here.
Mhm.
So there's one of those that goes across the gap within here. But if I put it there, it'll end up... Oh, actually, you know what? It may not block your light. Let me see if I can put one there. This. And then do this. Oh, no.
Oh, are you just saying like I'd have to swim under it?
Yes.
Oh, God damn it.
Actually, that works perfectly.
Yeah, it does work. I don't like this.
So you
Yeah,
put away... Have you put away your dagger?
I did. I mean, now that I see that there's just a wall there, I'll take it back out.
Oh, well,
Sorry.
that's fine.
I just didn't want to be spotted as soon as I surfaced.
Sure.
What are the odds he just gets scared and comes back without learning anything?
I'm not
And
taking
we
that
out.
bet.
All right. So, as Chain swims back, everybody can see him, right?
Yes.
There appears to be a long, wide shadow following his light, almost tracking him.
Chain, hurry!
And
Hey,
we
douse your
hurry.
light!
And I put away the light.
All right, let me... This, that. Okay. The light winks out, and you lose sight of the shadow itself. Chain, do you scramble back?
Yes.
Loudly and without care for the noise he makes, almost in a panic, Chain scrambles to the surface and back onto dry land. Mere moments later, the maw of a great beast can be seen snapping at the surface before disappearing quickly underneath the water.
So, the water's a no-go.
Oh, I'm so glad you made it back.
Holy crap.
That split second, could we have seen what did it? What snapped
Make
at him?
a perception check.
Okay. Great.
Chain, you don't get to make one. You were too
No.
busy fleeing in terror.
Understandably.
Yeah. And I was probably helping
Nobody
you up, so I didn't
ever
see.
looks back.
Yeah.
Cool guys don't anyway.
I mean,
Yeah.
unless you
So
want your wife to turn to salt.
Unfortunately, the only glimpse you got was the surface of the water breaking and a momentary gleam of rows of teeth.
I saw teeth.
That's good enough for me. I think we should keep moving.
Agreed.
I think I should throw the storm in the water. I'd say jokingly.
Nobody laughs. You just stare at you deadpan.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Fuck. Alright, sorry. I will take out my little knife torch
Sure.
so that I can have my own light source free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, did I?
Move on this side here.
I need to give you your light back.
Yeah.
So 40, 20. Bam. Done.
Please don't put me back in that water.
Egg is relieved that we're moving on.
This narrow hallway leads further in, dotted by a couple of stalactites precariously perched above. Up
we
ahead, you
still-
can. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask if we could still hear the cricket noises.
No, they have grown faint and distant, and to the point where you can no longer hear them over the sound of dripping water, and the low thrum of the river that is surely above you.
I think we made the right choice.
Can I percept the see if there's any traps ahead that are just
Yeah.
clearly visible, especially on the stalag?
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely. That would be investigation, since you're actively looking for traps.
Not perception.
I mean, if you're, well, are you searching something specifically, or are you just like keeping a general weary eye out?
Right now I'm looking specifically at the stalagmites.
That would be investigation.
Got it.
Is your investigation lower? Is that what you asked?
Yes.
So
Considerably.
so what's worth knowing is that investigation typically is an easier check.
Oh,
Like
Okay.
if I put it up there, like if you have an idea of what you're looking for, you are more likely to spot it than just like kind of glancing around, looking around. So
is it
typically,
about 5 easier?
typically when designing any sort of check like that, a perception check might be as difficult as 25, whereas the investigation could be anywhere from 13 to 18.
Oh, okay.
So it's all a matter of like when you roll investigation, you're gambling a bit based off like, oh, if there's a trap, it would have been put here. You know what I mean? So
And
Uh,
how would I have worded it to use perception in that case? Would have been just like keeping
yeah, just keeping a weather eye out. You know,
Okay.
keeping track of your surroundings, just looking for anything that looks strange or out of the ordinary, that kind of thing. So as you're checking out the stalactites above, you're no longer able to levitate, so you can't really check, but you hold your dagger up and see if you can get the light to glint off anything like it did off the glass bottle initially. But you don't see anything.
Okay. And can I also roll perception as just a general
Sure.
thing once I've satisfied
absolutely.
with the... Thanks, perception. Alright.
So
Those
up
things-
ahead, you can see that the cavern appears to split again. One path going north to the right, and another continuing onward west, maybe slightly southwest.
I want to look for the tracks.
Okay.
What do you want me to roll? Survival or investigation?
Whichever's higher, they're both fine. Unfortunately, it appears as though you may have lost the trail at this point. There is no sign of the light-footed steps any further from here.
I turn to Pedalin and just say, "Little one, I lost the trail."
I'll look also, and there's my survival roll.
Control C, Control V, Enter. So same thing. You are no longer able to buy the soft footfalls.
Egg will also
There is a
look for
faint
the
a
trails.
faint smell of rot ahead.
Oh, good.
You smell that?
Cooking.
Doesn't smell good.
Egg, as you are looking for the tracks of the light-footed thieves, you notice that what look like the impact mark of something heavy crashing against the walls of the cavern itself. Some of the scars are very recent, others are much, much older, just based off the pebbles and such on the floor. As you run your hand along the wall, and then the mud itself, you realize that anybody coming through here could have easily walked along the wall if they were of sufficient skill. Does that paint the correct picture in everybody's head? It's like something has pounded these walls enough that there are grooves and it's not like smooth stone. So if somebody wanted to, they could traverse along the wall.
Mm-hmm. Is that on both sides or just the one that we're near?
There's scarring on both sides.
Okay.
That could be why we can't see footprints.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I feel like following in their footprints, and I'll go ahead and scale the wall as well.
Acrobatic, please. Sure. You realize that it is much more difficult than you might have initially assumed, but you're quite practiced in things like this, so you're able to do so.
I will step back so he can position accordingly.
Am I like here?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you no longer checking the stalactites as you go by?
Oh, you want one for each stalactite?
I was going to use the same check on each one.
Oh yes, then I would be every single one I pass through.
So you'll come off the wall.
Oh, do I need to get close to it?
Yeah, you need
if
to.
If that's the case, then I won't worry about it.
Okay.
Especially considering they've already passed it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Egg has realized that there is a change in the way there's a traveling here, he's gonna look for traps again.
Okay.
Because he kind of was not paying as much attention before, but now he's more focused and doesn't see anything.
So you said looking for traps, but rolled investigation. How are you looking for traps?
Oh, I was specifically looking at the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The stalactites.
Yeah, the stalactites.
Okay.
But also the floor, thinking that maybe if someone was scaling the wall, then they would have left traps there that people who were not scaling the wall would walk into.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh. Can I see if there's any marks up here that would show that someone has been traveling on this?
It's not going to be obvious.
Okay. Then I won't worry about it. I'll just continue with my assumptions.
Okay.
Well, shall we continue?
I'm just sticking really close to Thame. Kind of huddling
Thame.
along behind him.
As you take a step forward, you feel only the briefest moment of resistance against your boot before it gives way. There is a hissing sound that fills the air. Egg, you have advantage on this save. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
Including me?
Everybody make a dexterity.
Oh my god.
1, 2. Okay. Pedal in, chain. Okay. And then Thame, Egg, and Madame Beldam will be okay. There is a monstrous explosion just ahead of you. or actually directly above Thame and Petalin, and the stalactites and stalagmites almost explode. There is a fire, like just fire fills the cavern, and the noise rocks through your ears. Roll them up. $20 damage to those who failed the save, and 10 to those who succeeded.
Any chance I can use my uncanny dodge on this?
What is that?
Just
I'm
check.
pretty sure uncanny dodge is when you succeed. No, that's not an attacker.
I was just wondering since it was
No.
a dex.
No, but it hits you with an attack.
Sure.
This isn't an attack.
20 damage.
See something real quick.
Does your... I thought you had a rogue ability that always reduces it to half, and then if you save, you get none.
I think that might be the uncanny dodge.
I have Favored of the Gods, and I can add 2d4 to my dooley whopper there.
I don't know what that means, so...
Her check.
Oh, so do that.
I'm doing
But
fine.
in the future, you need to do that before I roll damage.
Okay, well. So,
Okay.
14?
Oh, no, evasion is what you would need, but you don't have that yet. You get that at 7th level. Okay. So plus 7, then yes, you also take half. So it seems that you triggered a nest of goblin blast bottles. And several, rocks fall from the ceiling, seeming to block your path ahead. Let me make sure that I'm not missing anything here. Yeah, that's it. Those of you that were closest to the blast, so Thame and Petalin, your ears will be ringing. It is no small wonder that you are not deaf, likely due to your quick thinking to duck, dodge, and dive, and likely cover your ears. Egg, there's probably a little bit of a moment of PTSD, but somehow you're alive, and there's been more than one friendly ship that you have seen simply take a wave the wrong way and cease to be as lightning and fire consume it.
Man, I was afraid of that. Could have been worse. Could have been much worse.
The goblins call them...
Get this rock off my leg.
The goblins call them boom bottles, and when made well, they are especially deadly. Based off the damage that what you're guessing, Egg, was likely 2 or maybe 3, these were hastily constructed by somebody under great duress, because goblins are typically proud of their magical achievements, and this is kind of shoddy work.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn off, sheath my dagger and try to hide where I'm at.
Yeah,
Is everyone all right?
in a daze, I just kind of go to the wall and just slump down to rest for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And just
Sitting
say
on the floor, clutching my ribs.
I just tell the rest of the group, I need a moment. We need to rest.
Well, that was probably a trap laid by the whoever we're after. But they didn't. That was poor craftsmanship. They're in a hurry.
That was poor craftsmanship.
We are
Yeah,
still
we're alive, aren't
It
we?
was poor craftsmanship.
Fortunately, it's hard for me to see in this dark cave.
Is
kind of-
Is the tunnel completely blocked now by all the debris?
To the southwest, yes. Perhaps you could squeeze through to the north.
I mean, okay, so mechanically to the group, I'm suggesting we take a short rest. That's what my comment was.
That would be... This would be a terrible spot for that. We just set off an explosion next to us. Everyone in this cave knows where we are.
We
Oh, that's a
also
good
can only be
point.
attacked from one side here. There's a choke point.
Yeah.
I mean, there are rock burrowing beetles
Monsters.
theoretically in this area. We could be attacked from any side.
That's not
Plus,
true.
there's
We know
nowhere-
that it can't go through that clay. Through the rock.
What?
What?
No, it literally burrowed through rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could go through rock. It just didn't, like, bury
Your character
itself.
knows that it burrowed through rock.
Plus, there's nowhere for us to flee if we do get attacked.
Okay. Then we continue, but I can't take the lead. I'm gonna be behind somebody.
We could, like, find a better spot to, like,
Sure.
have a short rest, but
There's not going to be a better place in this stupid cave.
That's what
Oh,
I'm
we could-
thinking. Like, we haven't
we
found
could-
one anyway.
Well, we could press on just a little further and see if there's an exit to the cave, maybe?
There's also plenty of cave that so I'm speaking up as the GM to just kind of remind you that you guys have only gone one direction.
One direction. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
and this is closed off now, right? But there's
Yes.
no way for us to get through this.
Correct.
How long have we been in the cave? Roughly.
Not maybe 30 minutes.
Okay. So it's
Is that
still
more
like
clear?
midday.
Yeah.
Well, we could go
I said we-
back, but
Yeah, we go back.
we'll have lost this trail for Pippi or whatever.
I just get up and say, you take the lead, I will follow.
Keep an eye out for
I'm
traps.
gonna... Probably a bad idea, but I want to see if I can squeeze through to this north side up here.
I agree, that is a bad idea. But
Again, good,
you-
good
what
luck
you
at
must.
what's over here.
Oh, so let's stop right here and we'll go ahead and take our 10 minutes.
Okay.
Alright.
And then, so Rumble missed some things as well because the puppy was acting up. I don't know why he doesn't have her in the room with him, but so this is a good spot. We're gonna go ahead and take 10 minutes. Stretch your legs, get a drink, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to do, and then we will pick back up at 5:25.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Everybody okay with that?